So give us an example, right? Give us an example. Let's say all of us here are applying for a job to work for you.
Yeah.
How do you screen us for culture? Like, how does that work? Or give us a story or an example where someone fit the culture and you knew it, and someone didn't fit the culture and you knew it instantly.
Okay. I would say it starts with our interview process, which is so important, and people sometimes underestimate the process of interviewing, and that's why I think we're here today, is to talk about the art and the science. So there's both components to that. An example would be for when someone comes to work for MXO, when they first apply, from the day that they apply, they get a series of questions from us. Once they respond to those questions and we feel that their answers are fit within our environment and they meet the specific skills, they get a phone interview. After the phone interview, they get to come in and meet in person. They meet with a team of people. It's never one person. So the one thing I would really stress is that hiring takes a team. It's just like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes the whole team to hire the right person, because ultimately that person is going to work for your company and with all these different people. So we do things like team interviews. We do a lot of follow-up questions that we send out to these candidates. We look for accuracy, grammar, their enthusiasm, their follow-up skills, their technical skills, and just a whole process to it. And that's sort of maybe a little bit on your end, which is the science part of it, but it's still part of that art component with us.
Well, so this whole notion of a team interview is kind of interesting, though, because I think most of us would assume that, hey, the boss does the hiring or the HR person does the screening, and then they hire someone, and then the team finds out we've hired a new person. Yeah. How does a team interview work? Like, what does it feel like? So if I was coming in for an interview with you, do I walk into a room with a bunch of people there?
Yeah, actually you do. So we tell people in advance that they're going to have a 15-minute phone interview, and that's with one person. And then after that, when they come in, they should expect to be there for at least 2 hours. So when they walk into our conference room, those core values that I mentioned to you earlier, they're posted in our conference room on 4 big billboards, and there's definitions of what they all mean. And a question in the interview may be like, so you see these core values and you've been sitting here filling out the application. What do these mean to you? And then everyone who has worked with us as a team to develop those core values understands the depth of them. So when that person replies, everyone has a very good understanding if they're going to fit or if they won't. And I think that's very key. And it's just one little thing that we do, and which is a lot of fun for our internal staff. B, I think it's so important, and maybe, depending on the size of your company, you can't have 20 people interview someone, so you pick like the team leads, right? So you might pick 3 or 4 people that are like the core folks on the team who really understand and love your company culture. And those are the people who get involved in that process, and they could really understand, and we all kind of collaborate afterwards and meet and say, all right, what did you think of that person? And then we go by the core values. Do they meet this one and that one, and how? And everybody has an opinion about it, and we seem to make great decisions based on that, versus when I was the only person who was making that decision. As they say, 2 heads better than one, and in some cases 3 or 4. Because it's very difficult to make that decision on your own.